Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So before I get into it all, happy Christmas to you guys by the way, as I currently said. So I'm going to update you with a bit of transfer rumours today on this video. This is going to be a quite long video as I currently said, so we are going to be discussing a few transfer rumours with you today because teams are looking to bolster their squad in this upcoming January transfer window, which is not very long away. So we'll start a bit of Chelsea's news, as I said. So I did give you an update the other day on what was going on with Chelsea. I think, in my opinion, Chelsea still need to bolster their attack. They're in desperate need for an attacker at Chelsea, as we all know, because potentially they could see a couple of their players leave, as we all currently know. You know, Callum Hudson's unsettled there. He's 18 years of age. He's getting irregular starts and he's only young. You know, Beaming was about potentially Eden Hazard. You know, Morata now. So reportedly, as I updated you the other day, that reportedly Chelsea and AC Milan have allegedly come to an agreement on the swap deal of Alvaro Morata joining AC Milan. From the player's perspective, Morata did want to join AC Milan because he felt unsettled with Chelsea. He's missed the last 3 games and he's no longer under Sarri's plans, and he's no longer getting into the starting 11, and he's not Sarri's first choice in the Chelsea team, as we all know. So he's had a pretty miserable campaign in the Premier League as Alvaro Morata. Chelsea have had him since last year. You know, Chelsea paid, what, £60 million for him. I thought he had a good start. You know, he had a good 2017-18 season, did Alvaro Morata, as we all currently know. But he feels unsettled at Chelsea, as we all know currently know. So they are looking for a great striker. You know, at Chelsea, as I currently said, you know, they had Didier Drogba. That was a good striker for them, you know, and had Didier Drogba, you know, back in the day as well. So reportedly, Morata does want to join AC Milan. He doesn't want to stay at Chelsea. But reportedly, they want to do a swap deal for Higuain and Alvaro Morata. So reportedly, this has been confirmed. So Chelsea and AC Milan have been discussions about this. Obviously, Gundogan, Gonzalo, Higuain is on loan at the moment with AC Milan, as we all currently know. But obviously, Chelsea have been in negotiations with both Juventus and AC Milan, as we all currently know. So reportedly, it has come to an agreement that Chelsea and AC Milan have come to an agreement of Gonzalo Higuain and Morata as a potential swap deal, and reportedly this is going to be fully confirmed in the January transfer window. But I think if Chelsea were to get Gonzalo Higuain, Sarri does like the player. As I said, Sarri used to work with him, you know, when he was at Napoli. He is 31 years of age. He's Gonzalo Higuain, or is he 32 years of age? He is proven to be a prolific goal scorer, as we all know. I think he has had a difficult time, you know, since he's gone to AC Milan on loan, because he's now out of his prime, of course. But he's a very good prolific striker, and I think he'd lead Chelsea's line fantastically well, and he probably would be guaranteed that them first team starts. And I think he would bring a lot of, you know, flourish in Chelsea's attack. I think he'd score them goals because he's a proven goal scorer, you know, in his playing career, as I currently said. And obviously, you know, he risen up the ranks with a plate, Gonzalo Higuain. You know, he had 6 good years with Real Madrid. No, this is when he was younger. He scored 107 goals in 190 appearances. You know, potentially then went to Napoli. He had 3 good years with Napoli. You know, he scored 36 goals in 1 season. And he's won honours as well. And he's won quite a lot of individual awards. You know, Juventus won the domestic double in his first 2 seasons. Also was one of the key players that got them to the 2017 Champions League final, as we all know. And Juventus had paid 90 million pounds for him. That made him the most South American, the most expensive South American player, as we all know. But potentially, yeah, he's now at Milan on loan. Milan had paid a fee of around £16 million to get the player on loan, as I currently said. But reportedly, he could be set for a move to Chelsea in the January window, and Alvaro Morata goes to AC Milan. So potentially Chelsea and AC Milan have agreed to swap deal. Morata to AC Milan, Gonzalo Higuain to Chelsea. So reportedly, according to the Metro, this has now initially been agreed. But Morata's found it very difficult, you know, at Chelsea, you know, to be quite fair. You know, Chelsea paid £60 million for him, as we all currently know. You know, obviously, he spent a lot of his playing career, you know, in Spain, you know, with Real Madrid, as we all know, where he'd risen up the youth system in Real Madrid. You know, he's proven that he can score goals and that he can play very well, because he's proven it during his time in Real Madrid. Obviously, when he was younger in his prime, you know, he obviously spent 2 seasons, you know, in Italy with Juventus, of course, as well. Did have Real Morata, but reportedly now he could be set to be leaving Chelsea And Chelsea are going to get Gonzalo Higuain, and Alvaro Morata is going to be going to AC Milan. So that is something to update you guys on as well. But he hasn't really progressed that well with Chelsea. I think he had an okay 2017-18 season, but as I said, Chelsea are lacking in that attacking third of the pitch. And they're in the market, to try and get an attack, because I think that's the main. Part that they do need to strengthen up, and Sarri does know that as well. And they have got a few weaknesses in the team, Chelsea. They have got quite a few aging up players, as we all currently know as well. So yeah, reportedly Morata and he's going to AC Milan. Gonzalo Higuain is going to Chelsea, but he's 31 years of age, is Gonzalo Higuain. So Chelsea, if he wants to go to Chelsea, they only get a couple of years out of him. They won't get that long out of him, considering he's 31, 32 years old. But all that matters he's a proven goal scorer. He's a good finishing asset. He's very, very clinical, and he can score goals, as he has proven, as I currently said. But the player Gonzalo Higuain has never played in the Premier League, as we all know. So that's breaking news to update you with. Also, there's reports coming out of the media. I'm going to update you more now on some transfer rumours. Chelsea have got other potential targets on their radar, as I said, and the reports now are coming out about Christian Pulisic from Borussia Dortmund. The latest reports I've been reading that he could be actually set to leave Borussia Dortmund in January, even though Borussia Dortmund director confirmed Borussia Dortmund were not actually willing to let him go in the January transfer window. I think they confirmed they were allowing to let him go next summer. Chelsea wanted to get a fee agreed of around 50-60 million pounds. That's what he's rated at, and he has risen up the youth systems fantastically well. He's obviously never been in the Premier League, Christian Pulisic, as we all know, but recent reports I've just been reading that he prefers the move to Liverpool.
You left the man's bag of jams, didn't you?
Yeah.
Years gonna drop it.
Yeah, why?
Did he buy you that beer? Oh, right. Well, you might as well put it in the fridge.
Yeah, well.
I lost my giant tired.
Right, bye.
We'll put that on there.
Yeah.
You want some apple pie?
Yeah, right. But yeah, as I said, reportedly he wants to join Liverpool now. Does Christian Pulisic, according to the media, because this narrative has come up about this because reportedly Borussia Dortmund are eyeing out a replacement for Christian Pulisic, because they know Pulisic does want to come to the Premier League to experience the Premier League, and I think he'd grow and develop even more fantastically well in the Premier League, as I said. But reportedly Borussia Dortmund have made contact with Borussia Mönchengladbach. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund want Thorgan Hazard as a replacement for Christian Pulisic. Chelsea is still in there, but the reports coming out the other day that Chelsea, his preferred move was Chelsea, but now reports are saying in a couple of media outlets that I've just read that he prefers the move to Liverpool, does Christian Pulisic, but he's rated at around 50-60 million pounds. He's under contract until 2020. There has been no actual sign of him signing a new contract with Borussia Dortmund. He's been in the senior squad with Borussia Dortmund, since 2016. He can play attacking mid, he can play him out wide. So his versatility is very, very good. He is young, he's got years ahead of him to grow and develop. And it would be good to come and see him experience, the Premier League, with a player of his calibre, the way he's been performing in Germany with Borussia Dortmund. But it has been Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea and Liverpool are the teams, that have been interested in Christian Pulisic, as we all currently know. But according to the media, yeah, he does want to join Liverpool. But obviously, it would be beneficial for him to go to Liverpool, in my opinion. Chelsea are in desperate need for signings. Liverpool are. Obviously, Liverpool and Chelsea were the biggest spenders, last summer. But Chelsea need to bolster their squad, as I said, because they have got weaknesses in their team, and they do need to address that problem. But obviously, Christian Pulisic has worked. Klopp has worked with Christian Pulisic in the past. So Christian Pulisic, will be keen. Would be keen on a reunion with Jurgen Klopp, as I said. And obviously, the Liverpool owners are American, FSG, and so too is the player himself. He is American as well. But the narrative about this Christian Pulisic story has been going on, for quite a while now. I've heard it at least for the last couple of months that Chelsea and Liverpool have been heavily linked with him. He did mention Manchester United were interested in him as well. He hasn't been a Manchester United priority target. We haven't approached to have negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over this. So potentially now we're not going to get Pulisic. It's going to be either Chelsea or Liverpool that are going to get him. But according to the recent reports, it said Liverpool are the favourites to get Christian Pulisic. As I said, and I think Liverpool have got great players. Klopp's invested in the last couple of seasons. As I currently said, he's invested in the last couple of seasons. I think Christian Pulisic should look good alongside Salah and Firmino and Mane. That good attacking trio. That Liverpool have got. If you put Pulisic in the mix, I think he'd gel well with Liverpool's team, to be quite fair. And he would be guaranteed first team football in the Premier League with Liverpool, or if he went to Chelsea, wherever he goes. But it's Chelsea and Liverpool, that are potentially into him. But Chelsea, obviously, during the course of last summer, got obviously paid a world record fee for the goalkeeper, which cost them £72 million. The highest paid fee for the goalkeeper, which was Kepa from Atletico Bilbao, and they got Jorginho from Napoli for £57 million. But there's still some signings needed in that Chelsea team to bolster their squad, get them playing better football, get them scoring more goals. As I said, they are doing well. Savi's doing well in his first season, but he has got plans, to strengthen his team up in the transfer window. As I said, and Pulisic has been potentially one of Chelsea's targets, as we all currently know, but Liverpool could now go on and sign him. I don't think Liverpool need any signs in January because they're doing well this season. Liverpool are playing positive football, they're energetic, the players are linking up very, very well together, they're scoring loads and loads of goals, defensively very, very good as well. They paid £75 million to Virgil van Dijk, and look how good he's done. He's fixed their defensive problems, as I said. So it's Chelsea that are more desperate to get Pulisic than Liverpool, because Chelsea do need the signings, as we all currently know. And you can see they have got problems, as I said. But another potential Chelsea target has been Naby El Fekir. Now, as I did update you the other day about Naby El Fekir, reportedly Chelsea are interested in Naby El Fekir. Allegedly, during the course of summer, that Liverpool had initially agreed a £52 million bid for Naby El Fekir. I think he was on the medical, but something to do with a knee injury whilst he was having the medical. This deal didn't fall through, and he didn't. Liverpool didn't officially sign Naby El Fekir. Now he's a Lyon player. He's supposed to be a very, very good player. His performances for Lyon are supposed to be been very, very good. He's been at Lyon, a lot of years. He was in their reserve team, in the Lyon reserve team where he was up the U system, progressed through the ranks, and he's been in the senior team since like 2013 with Lyon as a Naby El Fekir. As I currently said, he's been in the senior team since 2013, and since then he's gone to score over 50 goals, made over 150 appearances, as we all know. But reportedly, Chelsea just recommended a new agent to come in to approach to regards to having negotiations about getting the signing of Naby El Fekir. But it has says Chelsea have been interested in Naby El Fekir, as I currently said. Naby El Fekir, but also Liverpool have been interested in him, as we all know. Liverpool have also obviously been interested in Timo Werner. He's another potential player that Liverpool have been interested in. Timo Werner is a player that has been discussing about coming to the Premier League, in the past. Timo Werner is a very, very good young athlete. As I said, he is 22 years of age. He leads the lines very, very well. I think his versatility is very, very good as well. He's a proven goal scorer. He can lead the lines very, very well, and he has proven himself in Germany, with RP Leipzig, as we all know. It's also said Bayern Munich are interested in him as well, because obviously one of their players is Lewandowski, and he's got to be out now 30, 35. I don't know how old he is, but I think Lewandowski's in his 30s, as I said. He's 30s, but as I said, so reportedly Liverpool have been interested in Timo Werner as well. I think he's keen on staying in Germany. Is Timo Werner, but he is a very, very good player. He was very, very good when he was a youngster. In the internationals. He was a prolific goal scorer. Made his senior debut for Germany. In 2017, as we all know, obviously won the Confederations Cup with them. He was obviously part of the team then. And, when he was at Stuttgart, he wasn't so good when he was at Stuttgart because he was still progressing up the ranks, wasn't he? He wasn't up the U system with them. He broke into the senior team in 2013. He spent 3 years in the senior team. He actually became at that time the youngest player to represent them. That's what it says on his Wikipedia page. If you look at it, he become the youngest player to represent them, and also become the youngest goal scorer ever. And also he's broken records for becoming the youngest player to make around 150 Bundesliga appearances, as I said, and I think he's in good form this season. He scored 11 goals in the Bundesliga this season as Timo Werner, but Liverpool are keeping an eye out on him as well. So he's been a Liverpool target as well. But as I'm saying, with Chelsea, as I keep saying, with the Callum news situation with Callum Hudson, potentially he could leave Chelsea. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Chelsea. As I said, he's only 18, but he's obviously not getting that game time at Chelsea. And obviously, a player of that age, and regarding how young he is, he wants to be out there playing first team football and getting in the mix. But it isn't happening for him at Chelsea. From the player's perspective, he is frustrated with a lack of game time at Chelsea. But Chelsea are linked with quite a few players. As I said they're linked with Pulisic, they're linked with Naby El Fekir. As I mentioned, Gonzalo Higuain could be set now for the move to Chelsea because reportedly, as I said, Chelsea and AC Milan have reportedly come to an agreement over this. Morata's keen on the move to AC Milan, as I said, and obviously Chelsea want Gonzalo Higuain because Sarri admires the player. He's a huge fan of Gonzalo Higuain, as we all currently know. So that is the big breaking news to update you on, potentially. So yeah, there's a bit of rumours there to update you on. As he updated you earlier on, and a bit of transfer news for more news to update you on. As I said, so reportedly now Juventus are interested in Romelu Lukaku from Manchester United. Romelu Lukaku obviously hasn't been to his potential best this season, as we all know. He hasn't been in good form. He's had a few injury problems this season. At the moment, he's on compassionate leave, as we all know. So I think he's set to miss the Huddersfield games, Romelu Lukaku. Potentially there's a lot better strikers than him out there. Everyone talks about his first touch and he's a big game bottler, as we all know. But he's failed to replicate that form he did in his first season. He scored 27 goals in his first season, did Romelu Lukaku, but he just hasn't been that good this season. I think he's too slow. I think he's static. And I think potentially we do need another striker in that team that can create, that's got tempo to his play, that's a good finisher. And Lukaku is too slow and, potentially doesn't make them runs. And I think we need a striker that's good at running, that's energetic, that's fast, that's a good finisher. And I still do think we need one, as I said, we're not desperate for any signings in the January transfer window. And reportedly, Solskjaer's not allowed to make any permanent deals in January. I think he's only allowed signings as Edward have actually confirmed, as we all know. But yeah, reportedly Juventus are interested in him. Could he be? He could be actually set to leave Manchester United, as we all know. He is having a difficult time, this season. With Manchester United not really getting involved in the mix, struggling for consistency, as we all currently know. But reportedly, Juventus are identifying him as a replacement for Mandzukic, as we all know, as it says in the press. But Romelu Lukaku, obviously, is Belgium. Obviously, when he was at Chelsea in his first season, he wasn't actually a regular with Chelsea. He did very, very well for Everton, but they're an average club, as we all know. I think he scored, 68 goals for Everton. So he is well Premier League proven. In terms that he's Premier League proven, it's good that we've got him, but, I think he's struggling for consistency, as we all know. He's had a few injury problems this season, as Romelu Lukaku, as we all know. We know he's, won the Europa League and League Cup with us, and all that as Romelu Lukaku, but obviously we paid 75 million, was it 90 million pounds? We paid for Romelu Lukaku, and potentially, so he could he be on his way to Juventus, Romelu Lukaku? So reportedly he could leave, but I did say I think a few Man United players are going to leave. To be quite honest with you, I don't see Lukaku having a future here. I don't see Matic having a future here because I think obviously he performed well against Cardiff, but I think Matic is too slow on the ball. He doesn't have much tempo to his play. And he's static in that midfield, just like Fellaini is a static midfielder. He's too slow in the midfield as well as Marian Fellaini. So I don't think Fellaini has a future. I don't think Matic has a future. I could see Darmian going as well. He's coming to an end of his contract with Man United, so I could see Darmian going. Potentially for me, Darmian. He's a good player when he gets that game time. He can develop himself very, very well. But he's obviously isn't preferred choice at our back line as we all currently know. So he could go. Talks about Valencia as well. He could potentially go as well because, we've been in talks of securing him a 1-year deal, as we all know. There were reports coming out about 3 or 4 weeks ago that West Ham were interested in getting him on a free transfer next summer. Valencia's agents actually been in discussions in the last couple of weeks about, regarding Valencia's future. As we all know, Valencia's been here now, nearly 10 years, as we all know. He's won quite a lot, as with Manchester United. He's experienced the good times here, but obviously now Valencia, he's not going to be our preferred, he's not going to be first choice at right back position, as we all know. It's either going to be Ashley Young, as we all know, or Diego Dalot. So obviously Valencia is now out of favour at the club, as we all know. But obviously, As I said, so we could see some players go. As I said, but potentially, reportedly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to get reportedly around 50 million pounds to spend in the January window. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually got a few potential targets he would actually like to get into Manchester United, as we all currently know. So there's been, talks that he's going to have a say in January. He's going to, get some reinforcements in reportedly, and he's keen on getting a couple of players into the club. He's got the job on a temporary basis. He has admitted he'd like the job on a full-time basis, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he loves the club. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the club inside out. Obviously, when he was playing, for Manchester United, obviously none of this team was here then. So he's obviously still going to get to know this team now. He's still going to get to know the players more. Obviously, he knows some of the players, from coaching, in the reserve team as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know, and who's to say if we do progress and we do very, very well, who's to say he won't get offered, the job on a full-time basis, and Man United won't give him the contract, as I currently said. But as I said, we've had a we had a great week, last week, getting rid of Mourinho, recommending Solskjaer to come into the job as interim manager, as we all currently know. But yeah, there has been a few players that Manchester United have been into. The rumours are coming round now, stemming from the Italian press about Douglas Costa again. Actually, the Italian press have reported that Manchester United have reportedly, as the updated GSD, put around a £54 million bidding for Douglas Costa reportedly now. The rumour mill has been going about this regarding Douglas Costa in the last 3 or 4 days, that reportedly Man United are linked with him. Reportedly, Man United have put around a £54 million bidding for the player. Reportedly, Douglas Costa. He's a winger. In his early career, he was more of an attacking mid or a central forward with Douglas Costa. Do you think he'd complement our team very, very well? I think we need a winger, that can, that is fast, that can put balls into the 6-yard box, that can cross a ball, as I said. And I think potentially we do need a winger, to be quite honest with you. And I've always said, especially our right-hand side needs addressing. I don't think we're going to get Douglas Costa anyway. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't know if Juventus are going to, are willing to do any business regarding Douglas Costa. Because obviously, if Douglas Costa was to come in, that could seize. And I don't think Sanchez has a future at Manchester United, but especially if Douglas Costa came in, that could maybe see Sanchez leave the club, as we all currently know. But Douglas Costa, very, very good player. He has struggled this season, as we all know. He struggled with consistency and form because he hasn't really been getting the game time. And he's obviously, this season, Douglas Costa is yet to get his name on the score sheet for Juventus. But his performances everywhere else have been very, very good. Douglas Costa, as I said, I think he's aged 28. He's aged 28, so he is highly experienced, coming out of his prime years now, as I said, as a footballer. But he is age 28. Juventus is now officially a Juventus player, as we all know, so he is Juventus permanently, because Juventus early this year paid £36 million. They triggered that release clause to Juventus, and it had £36 million in it, and Juventus had paid £36 million, paid £36 million in his release clause, and he signed for Juventus permanently because he was on a 1-year loan deal last season with Juventus, and he won the domestic double in his first season, with Juventus as well. I thought he was a standout player when he was younger, in his prime, when he was with Shakhtar Donetsk. I thought he did very, very well with them for 5 seasons. He won quite a lot of trophies with them, including the domestic treble, as we all know. I thought he was very, very good with Bayern Munich. He won 2 titles with them, so he's had experience of playing in Germany, as I said, and he actually began his career with Grimero, did Douglas Costa, as we all know. But he's quick, he's strong, he's capable of scoring goals, he can lead the lines very, very well. I think he can bring that firepower, he can put balls into the 6-yard box, and you can put him on each wing, so his versatility, would be very, very beneficial. And I think he would support and help the likes of Martial and Rashford. I think, Douglas Costa would give them, the right support, because obviously he's quick on the ball, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. So yeah, but potentially I can't see Manchester United coming to an agreement for Douglas Costa, as I said. But there has been a lot of talk about it, as we all know, in the press in the last 3 or 4 days, as we all currently know. Potentially there has been talks as well in the media about Joshua King is the latest, to be mentioned about. Joshua King's a Bournemouth player, but obviously Solskjaer does know Joshua King, as we all know, from the reserve team. Obviously, when Joshua King was rising up the ranks, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was there managing the reserve team at the time when, Joshua King was rising up the ranks. But Basically began his career with Manchester United in 2008. Potentially, I think he only made one appearance in the senior team. Joshua King, he is a forward. As I said, obviously when he was younger, and then he went to quite a lot of few teams on loan. Officially signed for Blackburn. Was at Blackburn a couple of years, and then potentially Bournemouth signed him. He's been at Bournemouth since 2015. His performances under Eddie Howe have been very, very good at Bournemouth. Reportedly, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He's good at leading the lines. Do you think he'd bring that firepower at Manchester United? Do you think he'd lead the lines very, very well, Joshua King? I don't know much about the player myself, but according to what I've seen of some of his stats, his performances have been very, very impressive for Bournemouth. He said reportedly Man United and Tottenham have been interested in him. Reportedly he's rated at around £25 million is the player as well. So I don't really know much. But reportedly Solskjaer's identified him maybe as a suitable player, to come in at Manchester United, as I currently said. So there has been talks about that as well in the last couple of days about Joshua King, as I currently said. But potentially, yeah, as I said, Solskjaer's going to get reportedly £50 million. He did say he's going to give all the players the opportunity. He's also confirmed that Mason Greenwood, who's been playing very, very well for the reserves, will be making his debut in the first team against Reading in the FA Cup. Which Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously already confirmed, as we all know. But I think he'll do a great job. I think Solskjaer knows about the club. Obviously he's got quite a good managerial experience as well. He got relegated with Cardiff, of course. Didn't have a good defensive record there. Didn't have a good defensive record with Mould, as we all know. He's a great, great player. He obviously scored in the 1999 final when we won the treble. He was here from 1996 to 2007. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as a player, as we all know. And he scored 126 goals in 366 appearances, as we all currently know. But he's still got to think about these players that are coming to end of the deals, thinking about contract renewals, as we all know, thinking about his starting 11, every game, as we all know, tactics. As I said, he's getting his team playing with confidence, spirit, playing at a higher level, as we all know, and I think he's going to elevate us to that higher level. As I said, there's still lots to address in our team. A lot of money has been spent on the team. You'd say £700-800 million, has been spent on the team since Alex Ferguson retired. As we all know, Mourinho spent over £400 million on the team. But obviously Ferguson won 38 trophies. He had great players. He was known for developing young players, as we all know. And then since then, it did go downhill, as we all know. The play, Moyes got some players in. Van Gaal got some players in. Mourinho got 11 players in, as we all know. But obviously, the players weren't playing under David Moyes. The players weren't playing under Van Gaal. Obviously, this team now wasn't playing under Jose Mourinho, as we all know. And Jose Mourinho didn't have, this club just wasn't for Jose Mourinho, as we all currently know, because obviously the players weren't playing for him. He had disputes with the board. He had disputes with the top players, including Paul Pogba, as we all currently know. So it didn't suit him. But I think now, that we haven't won a lot of trophies since 2013. We've won the FA Cup under Van Gaal. We won the League Cup and Europa League in the first season with Jose Mourinho, as we all know. So I think Solskjaer now turn us around, as we all know. We've had a 5-year bad spell, as we all know, but I think Solskjaer is capable of doing it. Whether he gets a job on a full-time basis or not, I do not know. I don't think he will. As I currently said, but as long as he keeps getting us playing attractive football, scoring goals, players putting good performance in and good shifts in, that's all that matters. As I currently said, but also Man United, we could see a few players go. As I said, I don't think Lukaku has a future here. But as I updated you yesterday, as it was saying in the media, guys, as it was saying in the media about the director of football, Man United is still looking to recommend a director of football to come into the club, as I said. Being mentioned as, it was mentioned that, what's his name? Someone were mentioned in the press the other week. It were Paul Summer, and the latest one has been mentioned now, which is Peter Schmeichel now. So we still try to recommend a director of football to come into the club, of course, because we haven't got one and it is vacant. The latest one has mentioned has been Peter Schmeichel. A lot of people wouldn't want to see him in a director's role because he's never obviously had experience of being there. He does know about the club. He does know about the club because he was the goalkeeper. He was here from 1991 to 1999. As we all know, he won 10 trophies with Manchester United. He obviously played alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, did Peter Schmeichel, as we all know. But the reports were coming out, as he updated you, was it yesterday or the day before, that reportedly he's interested in applying for the director's role at Old Trafford is Peter Schmeichel. But reportedly, he's obviously when he played for Manchester United as a player, well as a goalkeeper, I think he played like 398 times, didn't he? Something like that. Peter Schmeichel. He played for Manchester City as well. He played for Aston Villa. He played for Sporting Lisbon as well at one point, didn't he? Obviously, he won the European Championship with Denmark in 1992, as we all know. He also captained the 1999. He captained in the Champions League in 1999 as well, did Peter Schmeichel, as we all know, and obviously he made like 129 appearances for Denmark, as we all currently know, did Peter Schmeichel. But reportedly, he's the name that's been lately mentioned about, Man United, of him being the director of football at Manchester United, of course. But as I said, we need to give it to someone probably, who's got experience of doing it. So we need someone who's highly experienced, as we all currently know. So there has been talks about that. It's Paul Summit. I've said on my other videos. I can't remember now. I forgot about the other one, that we were interested in getting as well. It was Paul Summit, I think it was. Paul, what it Paul Mitchell or something like that? I think it was actually Paul Mitchell that Manchester United were interested in recommending for the director's role. So I think it was Paul Mitchell, but the latest one that's been mentioned has been Peter Schmeichel, as we all currently know. But so Lukaku's reportedly could be set to leave Man United. Scored 45 goals for Belgium. I think he's the record goal scorer, is he, for Belgium? If I might be wrong, but I think he's got 45 goals for them. As I said, he was actually top scorer for Belgium in the 2009-2010 season, as well, as we all currently know. So he could be on his way out of Manchester United because obviously, he's struggling for consistency, as I said. And I think the brilliance of Solskjaer can improve, the likes of Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez when he recovers from his injury. But no, I think they will be out because I just don't think they're good enough for Manchester United. And that's my opinion. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. What do you think to the reportedly Chelsea and AC Milan coming to an agreement of a swap deal with Morata going to AC Milan, Gonzalo Higuain reportedly coming to Chelsea. So reportedly they've agreed a swap deal in this situation. This is the main headline. What I've been talking to you about. Chelsea have come to an agreement with AC Milan as a potential swap deal. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. I'll see you all again very, very soon.